What's up everybody, welcome to Money Management channel. My name is Andrei and today I'm gonna be doing an update on MMTLP and FINRA saga.
I got the cash in the bag, stadium packed. Born a rock star in this life, gonna live it up on.
And guys, for today's video I will show you really impressive news. I will show you, and to be honest, I'm quite happy to see that two parts of MMTLP community can contact one to another with a quite high level of respect. And I will show you the most recent update in regards to these interactions. I will show you that potentially we might see some new guests on Rob Carter's show, and these guests might bring a lot of new information. And if Rob Carter asks them some tricky questions, and I will explain my point of view, and I will show you just literally several questions that I want to know, and if they answer these questions, guys, it will be a huge breakthrough in our case. So, and before we dive deep into all of this, guys, please hit the like button for YouTube algorithm and drop me a line in the comment section if you think my videos are valuable for you. On top of that, if you want to know more about technical analysis, if you want to enhance your trading skills, feel free to subscribe to my YouTube channel and to join my Patreon account. And guys, I'm recording this part of the video on June 28th, and within less than a week I will close some of cheap member tiers. And let me show you just a sneak peek on the most recent call that I made just 2 days ago. You know that yesterday on Friday's session on June 27th, Coinbase lost substantial amount of its value, and I made this set of posts the day before on Thursday. You can see it right here. It is June 26th, Thursday, June 26th of this year, and this top I caught to the tick. I made it for my patrons, and the major sell-off happened the very next day on Friday. And guys, you can see that I made a perfect call, and it is not the only call that I made. You can find other similar achievements in the pattern articles, and that is why, guys, if you want to be a part of this community, feel free to join my Patreon, because within next several days you will not have these lucrative prices. So guys, and I want to begin today's video with this tweet that was reposted by John Burda, and that was originally written by RareDD. RareDD wrote, FINRA lied multiple times in their FAQs and refused to provide a share count. Pete Sessions lied multiple times about MMTLP, including a lie to his constituents about getting them a share count. When does the FBI and or the Justice Department step in, because both Congress and regulators appear to be compromised? Link to the full video in the quote post below. And he added the link to his own video. And guys, I have to admit that RareDD makes very interesting videos where he explains his point of view, and where he add very interesting details to the saga itself. But I have to admit that the more effective way is the way to give this information to our people who has the existing lawsuits on the table. And in this case, guys, we can argue with these details in court, and the judge might make a ruling in our favor, or they can refuse all these facts. And this is the only way how we can drastically improve our effectiveness, I would say. So let me show you another quite interesting and the most important part of today's video. First of all, wait a second, I will show you this from the very beginning. You know that Rob Carter invited, he invited previously several people from one part of MMTLP community. He invited even John Burda. But guys, in my opinion, he didn't ask some tricky questions that potentially John Burda doesn't want to answer. And in my opinion, it is it is a little bit disappointing, but I have to admit that his current actions, I like his current actions a lot. And here is the answer from Tom Scollum. Tom Scollum was also invited to Rob Carter interview, but he for some reasons he rejected it, and instead of joining Rob Carter show, he invited him back. So it is quite interesting, but let me quote to this: open invite for the Rob Carter to join my space to discuss MMTLP. Let's see if he will show up. I'm scheduled one for tomorrow at 5 p.m. Who wants to take a guess if he will show? Well, guys, I have to admit that Rob Carter is not a part of MMTLP community. He didn't have and he doesn't have any MMTLP shares at all. And he is completely unbiased, and he is nothing more but nothing less than just a host of a platform where MMTLP community can find more potential paths to the resolution. And we as a community can use this type of people like Rob Carter and partially like I am to spread this information to as many people as we can. And at the end of the day, it will definitely help us to achieve more substantial results than without these possibilities. But let me show you quite interesting tweets in response to Tom Slocum. Crucial Mix wrote this: why do you insist on wanting to do a platform limiting X space when you can be on a top 25 radio market and the open internet with his show? Guys, very legitimate question. Why he doesn't want to be a part of much bigger audience, and he basically, it is a huge question mark why did he refuse to do so. Guess who also wrote this? I'm confused, Tom. You did write that there were plenty of folks that would go on the radio. In fact, you asked, why haven't you reached out to me? What changed? Which one of your handlers decided for you that X was the only debate you would partake in? Asking for a friend. And Tom answered, he's obviously in it for the content for his radio show. Why should I allow him to monetize off my likeness again? And Rob responded, why would I be interested in your space nonsense? I am not debating. I am one hosting. Wait a second, I will show you the more direct response to this. Rob Carter wrote, first, I make a living on advertising. My advertising is full, so you have my word, you are of no value to me. And he also added, why would I be interested in your space nonsense? I'm not debating. I am the one hosting the debate with two groups that disagree. And one group is willing and your group is playing games. Guys, it is very difficult to argue with this statement. He is 100% correct. And for me, I have to admit that it is quite surprising that the other side of the community doesn't want to be a part of this conversation. And yes, I think they all have legitimate questions, and they have to answer on tricky questions. Both sides of the community need to answer on tricky questions, but for some reasons they don't want to do it. And again, both sides don't want to answer tricky questions. So let me show you this quite interesting in my opinion. Wait a second, here is the tweet that was written by Matt G. Who is Rob? Why 2.5 years later some random radio host looking for engagement? And another legitimate question, but let me show you the answer of Rob Carter. Rob Carter responded, because a listener contacted me and explained the correspondence with Representative Ann Wagner. She is a House rep in my state. That's why. Again, 100% straightforward answer. And Matt G asked again, so you decide to reach out to ex-CEO pre-merger who SEC is now charging for orchestrating the scheme to come to your show and reveal the truth and then challenge more random people in internet, but not reach out to the company, PR or NBH sell. Makes sense. And yes, guys, in my opinion, the next step that we should take is to invite Greg McCabe to the to any show, any public show, any interview where he has to answer several questions. And guys, I will show you my thoughts in regards to these questions, and it is literally not more than 3 to 4 questions that I want to know answers. So Samantha wrote this. He coincidentally platformed and all CEO charged with fraud and his supporters, not congresspersons who outspokenly called it a pump and dump and relentlessly went after FINRA and SEC for answers. Not shareholders fighting in court against the fraudsters, not anyone at company. And she added the part of the letter that was signed by 74 members of Congress, where they asked about the insider trading and or pump and dump related to MMTLP transactions. And guys, we know that John Bird, George Palikros, and Greg McCabe, well, they are in some tricky situation because they have an active lawsuit against them that was filed by SEC, and they don't want to answer some questions that potentially might shed some light to this problem. And again, let me show you the answer of Rob Carter. He wrote, I've invited Representative Ann Wagner on my show. Ann is the chair of the Capital Markets Committee. She sent a statement. I've had AG Andrew Bailey on my show. He is an attorney general in Missouri. Are you opposed to elected officials answering their constituents publicly? Is that your idea of representative government? And Samantha wrote this. Of course not. I know you just got here, but we've been asking them to address all of it since the beginning. We asked questions which friends of CEOs tried to keep out of open letter. They did not get their way. These questions were added and asked. Our congressman said this, and she added again the same screenshot and the part of the interview of the Real America of Pete Sessions that he gave in the Real America show. Rob Carter again wrote this, but they are private citizens, the officials are public servants. You don't see a difference? And Samantha answered, the public servants should do something to protect or prosecute anyone, including the private citizens and foreign nationals in MMTLP found guilty of defrauding Americans. Who wouldn't support that? And Rob Carter answered, protect investors, that's the point. Prosecute fraud, that's the other point. You don't protect investors once they lose their money in trap. And Samantha added, sure you do. You disagree all ill-gotten gains and return money to investors. There is a regulatory process to do this. And you ensure it never happens again by prosecuting those responsible to the fullest extent possible, or providing full transparency on exactly what transpired. Rob responded, if it's so clear-cut, why are we almost 3 years in without resolution? Samantha answered, good question. Investigations take years, but should they? And Rob Carter wrote, no, that would indicate there is more to the story. And Samantha answered, or it would indicate due process takes time. The SEC has stated this was a brazen yet sophisticated scheme. On average, SEC investigations take 2.5 to 3 years. And I doubt taxpayers are willing to pay for more resources when regulatory bodies are being downsized. And again, why I like and why I decided to dig deeper inside these conversations, because guys, I like to see when people can argue their positions and can talk one to another without any hate, without any rude phrases, and with total respect and professionalism. That is what I like in this conversation. On top of that, guys, Rob Carter wrote this. I'm still waiting for someone to take the offer. You must admit a legion of MMTLP haters refuses to debate in an open forum. Very strange. Again, guys, I'm 100% agree with Rob Carter because, well, if the people who think that John Bird, George Palikros and Greg McCabe are the part of this shady scheme because of which a lot of MMTLP shareholders were trapped and because of their actions, potential actions that they made back in 2021 and 2022, FINRA implemented this U3 halt. And yes, FINRA doesn't want to answer the reason why did they implement the U3 halt. They haven't disclosed the extraordinary events that was the reason of this U3 halt. At the same time, guys, we don't have any explanation from the C-level executives. Let me show you that, Patrick Decordi, I'm sorry for potential mispronouncing the name, wrote this to Rob Carter. Rob, call FINRA. Have someone explain this doc on your show, and he added the link to the FAQ that was issued by FINRA on March 16th. And guys, we all know what is this document about, and we still have some questions to this document that are still unanswered. And that is why, guys, it is another legitimate question in our case. On top of that, guys, I am still awaiting for the Greg McCabe answer, or at least for the confirmation that Rob asked Greg McCabe to attend to his show. And Samantha just yesterday wrote this: will McCabe come out of the shadows and speak directly to his MMTLP army of shareholders for the first time ever? And she provided the contact information where Rob Carter can and when and how basically he can contact to Greg McCabe and to invite him to his show. For now, we don't have any answers from Greg McCabe, and what is more importantly, we don't have a confirmation that Rob Carter invited him to his show. But let me show you another quite interesting update. We know that, the 1209 community is fighting, and their focus is switching from the authorities to the C-level executives of Torchlight Energy, MMTLP, and the next bridge. And I don't want to tell you that they totally switch their focus. They are trying to find the answers from both sides. And CJ asked this: why has Scott Roth gained the shareholders' approval by starting to sue brokers and FINRA, and now has completely turned against McCabe, Burda, and others? He completely turned around against the next bridge. Yesterday, he was recorded in a space saying the only solution is that McCabe must go. And here is the answer that was written by Scott, and he wrote it just 39 minutes ago, as you can see right here. Go look at the history, McCabe's history. He attacked me, and then the McCabe Protective Association did too, after I called out his obvious BS, hiding material events and the share count. He knows. He lied about Anson, defamed me by calling me compromised and a dark force for simply asking who approached him to close out short positions in January 2024. McCabe has a shitty reputation in the oil patch, and he will never aid shareholders. He will be removed, so a share count and internals can be made public. He is the largest barrier to getting us resolved. And guys, yes, I remember when Greg McCabe called Scott Roth that he was compromised and he was a dark force. But at the same time, when John Burda just a couple of weeks ago admitted that Anson Funds contacted Greg McCabe back in 2022 or 2023, I'm sorry, and they asked him to issue more shares to cover their 10 million shares short position. Why didn't Greg attack John in this case? In my opinion, it is another discrepancy in his actions. On top of that, guys, take a look right here. Again, in response to Rob Carter's tweet that he wrote on July the 3rd, when John Savvy attended to his interview, Scott responded, "So much for debating. John Savvy, apparently McCabe and Burda are off limits. So it stands to reason Rob Carter was brought on because the SEC was all over Junk Savvy's crew, and she shut down her AM bombast only after Rob Zombie was able to pick up the narrative baton from McCabe and Burda and the now dearly departed McCabe Protective Association members. Timing is everything. One more talking head turning a blind eye to all the effery from McCabe and Burda, with Wes Christian brought in as late inning relief. And guys, to be honest, I don't like this type of narrative, but factually, Scott Roth can tell everything, but I don't like to see this type of rude words in his statements, because it makes me thinking that well, he is not professional in his actions, and that is why the likelihood that he will reach and he will achieve some results in this case becomes less likely, I would say. So another quite interesting set of tweets. Gregory Chiggins wrote this: exactly, the so-called oil is a mute effing point. It's how many counterfeit shares were sold by brokers. I support Green Hills, but the share count is the only thing that matters. And Scott responded: no, you aren't looking enough. You aren't looking around enough. We will never get a share count until I remove McCabe from NBH. Stand by. So, in the lawsuit that was filed by Scott, one of the main goals is to remove McCabe from the C-level executives and from the board of directors of Next Bridge. And in this case, the information that is hidden behind the wall of Greg McCabe, let's put it this way, will be this information will be disclosed right after McCabe resigns. So, wait a second. 16 hours ago, Rob wrote this: Scott, I've spoke privately to people who want the entire focus aimed at McCabe, Burda, etc. The other side wants FINRA to explain their actions, their role, and the aggregated share count. From my view, FINRA and those in Congress with oversight should speak publicly. Why have reps if they don't rep? And Scott responded to this: not when McCabe made between $20 million and $70 million of MMTLP, knowing his wealth had zero reserves. Well, congratulations, Rob, and welcome to the MPA, McCabe Protective Association. And guys, wait a second, I wanted to show you another set of tweets, and in response to the tweet of Rob Carter that he addressed to Scott and that I've just read to you, JP wrote this: it's amazing how some will try and discourage people from the actual topic of counterfeiting shares. Glad you see through this, Rob. And Jennifer Vetrano wrote this: all the lawsuits are asking for discovery. And guys, I have to admit that yes, a lot of people inside the MMTLP community didn't even read the lawsuits from 1209 community. And guys, if you want to be unbiased, if you want to know all the facts and all the all the problems that 1209 community is trying to solve, you have to read these dockets. And so JP responded to Jennifer: yes, discovery, which will lead to discovery of counterfeit shares. And Daniel Spears again responded to JP the following: really? Then why is Scott in court against GTS and Schwab? Why am I suing the SEC and FINRA? Why is Jason suing DTCC? We believe we got hosted just like you believe it. We just also believe all the parties are guilty of fraud, and we are not willing to only look at one wrong party. Yes, guys, yesterday Samantha clearly stated that their point of view is not to attack one part of this entire saga. It means the C-levels executives, but they wanted to find the answers from both sides, and they also admit that FINRA's actions and SEC actions were illegal at that point, but their actions were the result of the actions of C-levels executives. And as I mentioned multiple times, this case is extremely complicated, but guys, I'm here to help you to find the resolution. And if you like my video, please hit the like button and subscribe to my channel. See you in the next video. Bye.
I got the cash in the bag, stadium packed. Born a rock star in this life, gone live it up on the